We are a few days away from the NFL draft, and we on today's episode are going to talk about has Ryan Poles had more hits or misses in this draft selection so far. We're going to get to all and more. Plus, we got a guest, Brandon, in the building. All that and more right after this.
Into Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We got C-Dub, Bobby in the building, and we also got Brandon in the building. We don't do many guests around here, so this is a special occasion. So we're going to get into it. But before we get into it, I'm going to go ahead and start this off. First of all, this is Sunday, and this is the Lord's Day. Diedrich, I will flame your bitch ass like your mama should have whooped you. Don't come in here with no bullshit on Sunday. Brandon, I apologize. I usually try to act right in front of guests, but Diedrich's a constant. He perpetrates in this mug a lot. He just looks for attention because his mama didn't really love him growing up. She cared more about sucking dick than giving him pats on the back. So now it is what it is. So now you got flame. Now sit your ass down, Diedrich. Anyway, we got Brandon in the building. From Chicago Sports Talk. Brandon, tell the people a little bit about yourself before we start off, brother.
Yeah, you can find us on Chicago Sports Podcast and on YouTube and Facebook, and that's basically it, man. We're on pretty much like you guys, but just anytime something drops, almost every day there's something going on, you know what I mean? So especially with the Final Four, the Bulls popping and baseball getting really busy. I seen your boy the other day on your baseball content, man. He's pretty good, especially with the Sox stuff. Yeah,
Kev is good.
I like him, man.
Yeah, I really wish Kev they gave Kev the notice he deserves, man. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there for sure.
Got to use them hashtags. That'll help.
I mean, the hashtag, yeah. I mean, we'll get it off. But with that said, man, let's go ahead and get into the topic today. The one topic that we're jumping into. A lot of people more so, and I see it a lot in the comment section, kind of doubt how good Ryan Poles has really done in the draft. Me, Bobby, C-Dub, we break it down all the time, talk about it, but I want to kind of condense it and get it all kind of in one place here. C-Dub, I'll go to you first on this one. When you look at Ryan Poles' draft history, how do you feel about it so far?
I think he's hit on more than he's missed in his draft history, and I think you got to break it down year by year. And then when you take that first year, because when you look at it, when you look at the names, so I'm not going to name all the names, but we can name the hits on there. Jaquan Prisker, of course, maybe Braxton Jones. That's a little bit up in the air.
I think for where they drafted him at, that's probably a hit.
Yeah, it's probably a hit. I'm gonna name it a hit as well. I like Doug Kramer. I like Terry Carter. I like Elijah Hicks, and Trenton Guild is the starting punter for our team. But it was a lot of misses in that first draft, and you have to take that in the context that he's rebuilding the team. He had to get rid of some bad contracts on his team. He had to start freeing up some money, which he did in a big way. So then you have to put context. If you want to say he missed in that first year, you can go ahead, but it's context added into that. Now, when you come about the second with the last year, he killed Darnell Wright, Javon Dexter. Come on, Tyreek Stevenson, which will be one of the best cornerbacks in a couple of years in this league. Roschon Johnson, we love Roschon Johnson. Tyler Scott's not bad. Maybe we not giving up on Tyler Scott. It's a couple names. Terrell Smith is a starting cornerback in this league in a couple more years. You got to say he hit more than he missed in these drafts. I know people mad. You can't hit on every draft. I don't know why everybody think that every draft pick is going to be some type of force of nature in this NFL, but it's not. I would say that he's hit more than he's missed. He's absolutely missed. Everybody's going to miss. He's did a wonderful job making draft picks as a GM as Chicago Bears.
Absolutely. Brandon, Bobby, I know I usually go to you second. We got guests. Brandon, I'm going to come to you first on this one, man. How do you feel about Ryan Poles in his draft history so far, brother?
I think it's important to go after draft needs. And first, piggybacking off of what you just said, basically, he came in with we didn't have a whole lot of draft picks, so he came in, and they say that if you average 2.5 starters per draft, you're doing good. And by those measurements, I think he's done that really well. I like some of the more recent picks that he's had. You know, obviously Darnell Wright, home run right off the rip. Braxton Jones, you know, the jury's out on him, but I think he's a good serviceable left tackle, and he's not every offensive lineman is going to be, you know, a perennial Pro Bowl tackle. You know what I'm saying? So Brisker, home run right there. Kyler Gordon, I like him. Tyler Scott, I mean, the jury's kind of still out on him, but he's on our team for a reason, right, boys? Gervon, I like Gervon Dexter, man. I think he's going to be amazing. I had Tommy Harris on the show about a month ago, and he loves his attention to detail, his technique. He thinks he's going to be amazing. And I asked him, I said, how important is that position, you know, for the 4-3? He goes, well, 4-3 is the engine, and the 3 technique is basically the ignition. Like it all starts at that spot. So that helped me kind of wrap my brain around that. Tyreek Stevenson, I think you get flamed a lot as a rookie. Even, you know, you look back at JJ, he got burnt a little bit, but I really like Tyreek. So I'm really happy with the way that he's done things. I think Smith could be a safety, but he's still good as defensive back. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys that already went. I'm looking at it like this, man. The hits are there. And one thing I respect out of Ryan Poles is when most of the time, at least so far within his tenure with the Chicago Bears, if it's a bad move, he moving off for you. He gonna give you a chance. You know what I'm saying? He's giving guys chances. He gave Velus Jones chance after chance, and then eventually had to say, hey, enough is enough. He got to sit his ass down and be a healthy scratch. So he's Ryan Poles is that GM that I'm respected. And if you're looking at everything, all things considered, it's more hits than misses. And like C-Dub said when he first started, you can't hit on everything. For the people that act like you got to hit on every single draft pick, that's not being realistic, because a lot of these guys after that first and maybe the second round are pretty much crapshoots after that. At least for the most part. You can find some diamond in the rough, for sure. You can find some guys that you could develop that's going to be able to take what they learn and establish themselves more in the NFL. But the chances are very, very slim as you go further and further through the draft.
Yeah, I think when you look at the hits, it's simple. Darnell Wright, hit. You can't argue that.
Right.
Braxton Jones, you get somebody who can start in the 5th round. That's a hit. Now, is he perfect? No. Could we look to upgrade? Absolutely. But guess what? It's still a hit to get that type of quality in the 5th round. Then you look at his first draft, no first round pick. You walk away with 2 starters out of that in Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon. Hits. Tyler Scott, the jury's still out on. You can't say for sure yet. Gervon Dexter, more hit than miss as of right now. Tyreek Stevenson, a hit. Terrell Smith, a hit. So like we're almost at 10 hits already, right? And then you got the questions. Trenton Gill, like C-Dub said, that's a hit. But then you do got some misses in there, right? You don't want to overlook Treston Ebner. It ended up being a miss only because Isaiah Pacheco went there. He has 2 titles already and 1,765 yards.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm just saying. Yeah, but again, but in hindsight, there's always going to be players that you can look at and say, well, this ended up being better, right? But then you still look at the players that we still got time to decide on. Roschon Johnson still got much to decide on, but listen, at 115th pick, still tons of potential there as a depth piece running back. So I think Ryan Poles has done a damn good job. It's always things that he can, that, you know, there are going to be misses. And I think in this draft coming up, things are pointing towards the Bears kind of feeling very comfortable with those 4 picks. You got to hit, I think, on at least 3 out of those 4 picks if you're going to go in the draft only with 4 picks. So,
yeah, I was going to agree with you. I was going to say you got to hit on those picks, especially if you're comfortable with not trying to get more. That means you got to really take your time with this and make sure that you're bringing in some really, really good players that can help this football team, whether they be starters or good rotational pieces.
What about those super players that we got in the form of draft picks like Montez Sweat? He's like, you know, traded for a draft pick. So what about that? Can he get credit for that?
How you use your draft capital got to play a part in it as well.
Yeah. So
So
Give him cruise. Hey, we don't forget my son, Jack Sanborn.
he wasn't drafted. He was an
I know,
undrafted
don't
rookie.
but he still had to have the balls to pick him up.
Oh, facts. Like,
my
yeah.
son. Put my son up there.
I mean, you look at the two undrafted signings he had, Tyson Bagent and Jack Sanborn, right? And no, I'm not saying Tyson Bagent is a starting quarterback or anything, but if you can find your system quarterback that can stay your backup in your system for 3-4 years as an undrafted rookie, that's a solid hit there. That's value.
So. Now, any of these guys where he just missed bad, if we could be honest, and it was just a total, shouldn't even did it. It was just awful.
Velus is the biggest.
Is Velus still on the roster though?
Yeah, I mean the only way he's going to make it is special teams now. But Velus is a miss. There's no way around it. And that's the thing, right? He got to get the wide receiver right if he drafts one. So far, what we can see is that Ryan Poles doesn't evaluate wide receiver talent very well. Because you gave up a second for Chase Claypool. That motherfucker playing in the Canadian Football League next season.
With the Roughnecks.
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. When you
Robinson.
Dominic Robinson's definitely a miss, and it had a lot of potential. It looked like initially when he was coming off the bench, and all that shit went right in the toilet. We were talking about he may not make the 53-man roster this year.
Bro, we had so much promise for this kid. I remember that laugh the next day after we got rid of
Robert Quinn.
When we got rid of Robert Quinn, and we was like, oh, this is time for Dominic Robinson to shine. Go in there, get some sacks, show that you belong in this league. And what did he do? Crap out.
Yeah.
Crap out, bro. He still crapped out last season too. It's been bad for Dominic Robinson.
I'm not a good evaluator of talent at running back because I was really excited about Treston Ebner, and I don't know if he makes the squad either. Because why are they even looking at running backs? For undrafted.
Yeah, I just think it was so much talent in that room that he didn't really stand a chance.
I think he did have his opportunities, and they was blunders.
But they was few and far between. Like
for Velus?
No, for Ebner.
Ebner had his opportunity his first season when we had injuries, and if I remember correctly, he looked like absolute garbage.
Trash.
Yeah.
He looked slow.
He looked
too slow. And he couldn't do what we thought he would be able to do, especially because we was like, man, this could be a special teams guy. We seen him catch, I think, a punt or a kick return. We're like, oh no, hell no, he's too slow.
You know what I think it is? We got to start realizing if you 23 with a 40-year-old hairline, just don't draft him. How many of those guys end up turning out right? Treston Ebner hairline. How you 23 and start off with Robert Quinn's hairline, bro? Like that's
there's a picture coming in. There's a picture coming soon. Y'all get it.
I wasn't even, but I mean I can do it if y'all need reference. I
don't need reference. I just know you, bro.
Hey, I got a great question.
Okay.
You tie certain players and he defined their tenure with that so-called team.
Mm-hmm.
What player, and that's like exclude this upcoming draft because I think that number one pick, that'll be the guy for Ryan Poles to tie to his name in his tenure with the Chicago Bears. But so far with the picks he had, what's the best player to tag to Ryan Poles' name in his tenure to the Chicago Bears? If you want me to go, I'll go. But y'all want to hear y'all. What y'all think? Who's the best one? And I think it's Brisker. Fuck it, I'm gonna go. I think it's Brisker. He personified. Is that the first pick he made? Is it Kyler Gordon?
No, Kyler Gordon was first, right?
Kyler Gordon. I think Brisker.
I love me some Gordon, man.
Yeah, I love Gordon too. Damn, did I even have him listed? Kyler Gordon too. Jaquan Brisker. What is that?
When this pick was taken.
Is that getting
3 years old when this picture was taken?
Bro.
Royals.
What the hell?
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
That's how he looked.
23 years old. You start off, you that already at 23, it's a L, bro. It's a L.
Been through some things, bro. He been through some shit.
That's hilarious, man.
I think it's Jaquan Brisker. I think it is tied to Ryan.
As far as draft selections,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to end up being Tyreek Stevenson. I think Tyreek Stevenson is going to end up, when it's all said and done, I think Tyreek Stevenson has top 5 to 10 cornerback in the league type talent if he keeps progressing the way he's going.
Bro, I gotta say, right.
Darnell Wright,
Wright.
that's
I ain't
fair.
mad at
Darnell
that
Wright's
either.
fair.
I ain't
Yeah.
mad at
When that man was injured and he started blocking with just one side of his body and he started pancaking folks, I was like, it's because you and I might put too much emphasis on this because I played left tackle in college and semi-pro, but you know, at his highest level, Poles was in the NFL, and so is Ian Cunningham. So to me, if you do your due diligence where you're professional at your craft, like that's where like I would have a phenomenal offensive line and be like, this is obviously nepotism, boys. Like he's not addressing anything else, but he's got a bona fide badass offensive line. And to me, it's really been bothering me, but I get it. You know, he still addressed it like 11 times or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've seen that. You know, he's even went out and got that the boy with the mullet and whatever, but. Like Wright was like my honest to God, like my conviction. I was like, this is it right here. If he goes out this draft and gets the other bookend, I'm happy, you know. But or somebody that doesn't snap the ball over, dude's head because we don't have Fields back there. I'm a firm believer in Caleb Williams' talent, but I just don't think he's got a really good vertical for that.
He ain't got the ups, huh?
No, he ain't got the ups.
When it comes to the draft, I think that the player that you probably look at, and I think it could make sense. I like both of you guys' picks, Brandon and C-Dub, and I gotta go with Briscoe though, because you took Kyler Gordon. George Pickens was still on the clock, still on the books.
He didn't get picked until what, 52nd overall pick. So yeah,
it was something after. And we was on the live during the draft.
Bro, what?
C-Dub let loose. He couldn't contain himself. So I think that was the first person.
You remember I wasn't even on that live, and I was on vacation, and I was pissed off. I had to type in like,
yeah. So I think that's the player that that's gonna be a part of that. But I also think that you gotta show love to Darnell Wright. The reason is because the way. A lot of people had him going after Paris Johnson out of Ohio State and things like that. But I started looking into Senior Bowl stuff, and then you start hearing things about how the Ryan Poles allowed this damn offensive tackle to do a workout that was designed for wide receivers, and he didn't give a shit. And that was the toughness that you wanted to see come in the building. So when we talk about those draft picks, I think is those two guys for sure.
I see. Now, I want to offer something, and this is just a counterpoint to kind of I think it highlights the point that we're making. Jaquan Brisker was drafted, and people did think it was a reach. The only safety drafted after Jaquan Brisker that's been anything remotely worth singing home about was Kirby Joseph, who ended up getting drafted by the Detroit Lions, who is now their starting safety. But let's look over the stats for those two guys. Over their 2 years in the NFL, Kirby Joseph has started 32 games. 164 total tackles, 124 solo tackles. He does have 8 interceptions over that time and 2 fumbles forced. In that same amount of time, 2 games less, as a matter of fact, Jaquan Brisker has 209 tackles, 139 solo tackles, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, only 2 interceptions there. But I'm looking at the position, right? I know it's easy to look at and compare other players that went out in different positions, but sometimes you have to look at the position. The Bears clearly wanted to address the secondary. The only other player at safety that went in that same draft as Jaquan Brisker after him that's even remotely worth singing about has way less production. Jaquan Brisker almost outperformed him in just last season for Kirby Joseph's whole career, outside of the interception.
He's a damn demon, bro. And then y'all check out his Twitter, bro. This dude, man, he don't cut no corners. He gonna say what he feel right now. I love that kid, bro. I hope he stays a bit.
He just needs to back it up a little bit more. Like he was talking a little bit too much about the Packers, and in those Packers games, he didn't look all that good. So I'm all good for Packer slander. You just got to show up a little bit more in those games, my boy. That's all.
I'm glad you said that, Drip. So, absolutely, he got to start backing up those comments a little bit more. But I love that he's stepping out to the forefront and he representing that FGB shit we got going on around here, bro. I love me some Briscoe, bro. I love him.
That's hilarious, man. When y'all look into this draft, 4 draft picks, I know we've kind of touched on it. a little bit, but it came out yesterday. I can't remember the outlet. I think it was The Athletic that the Bears seem to be poised to stay with just those 4 draft. They aren't trading out of number 9 per that. You can take that for what you will. Have you guys changed your opinion at all? And Brandon, I'll come to you first because kind of know what these guys feel. How do you feel about the Bears if they don't trade down for number 9? Do you think that's the right pick to take it? Because seemingly either Joe Alt or Rome are going to be there at number 9. How you feeling, Brandon?
If Joe Alt is there, I'm going to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I'm a little apprehensive about Tennessee maybe selecting Joe Alt because I know they've got a need at offensive line for sure, except for they took my boy at center, which really pissed me off in the free agency. I did not like that at all, man. If we get Joe Alt, that'd be great. But I'm actually, if we could go back a little bit, 3 or 4 picks or so, I think it would have to be before the Vikings, right? So I want to play like spoiler and trade back, but right before, I think the sweet spot's like, what is it, 11? Because I think the Vikings are at 12 or something like that. I'd like to do that, but we'd have to get a second rounder out of it at least, or maybe an early third or something. But because right now we got 2 holes and 1 swing.
That's what she said.
Yeah. But I would definitely like to get something out of it.
Boy said I would try 2 holes.
See, now, you've been waiting to come on the podcast. Now look at you. Now you're in the shits. Now you knew we were crazy. He's like, hey, these motherfuckers crazy. These bro.
Really crazy.
The first time I heard you say that, what do you call it? Sanborn was your son. I was doing like chest pulls and I almost freaking let it go, man. I started laughing. Yeah, nobody really knows when you got like the headset on, like what the hell's going on.
Well, people in the gym were probably like, what the hell was he just doing?
For real.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. That's hilarious.
But
I'm sorry. I know I cut you off with the joke. Were you done, Brandon? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. I really could see myself. I mean, it's hard because when are we ever going to, if we're going to take the North and never give it back this year, right? Yeah. When are we ever going to get in a situation where we're going to get 2 first-round picks? And you would like to hold on to that. But if you're only going to like 11 or 12, let's not get cute about it. You still potentially could get a top 10 pick, even moving out of the top 10. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Coming from that one. Bobby, how you feeling?
I'm looking at it like, look, man, if your guy's on the board, you take him. If you feel like somebody snagged your guy, you can do that. But I think that it has to make sense. Like, don't play around with this. Like we then did the let's trade, let's get a number of picks. Let's see if we could have these many bites at the apple and hit on some picks or miss on others. No, if your guy's there, if that's a wide receiver, O-line, or D-line, get your guy. You know what I'm saying? You can worry about the other stuff later because I look at it as the 2nd round pick. You got Montez Sweat after that in the 4th round pick. You got Keenan Allen with that. So your draft, in my mind, you already winning. Just continue to take these shots and get you know what I'm saying? Nothing is for sure in this draft or nothing is for sure in the NFL, but get the guys who gives you the best probabilities to be successful. Don't play around with this.
I like to say
Brandon said I'm done with these black people.
Yeah, he left.
This part crazy as hell.
Hey, no, Brandon fan, bro. Like, Brandon, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, something seriously wrong with this dude. Hey, hey, a lot of people talking about trading back. I know, I understand that too, trading back. But what about trading up? What up?
Have you seen the mock that has the Bears trading up to number 5 to get Marvin Harrison Jr.? I tell you what,
I'm a big dreamer.
It's not realistic.
I'm a big dreamer.
If we walk away from this draft with Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr., y'all ain't got to worry. I'm going to be on my shirts. I'm playing P.D. Pablo. The shirt's off. I'm swinging that motherfucker around my head, bro. Like, yeah, we getting it, bro. Like, you ain't got to worry about it. I don't think I would ever be excited about a draft like that again, bro. I may pass out. Go ahead. I'm
Dream-
sorry, C-Dub. Go ahead.
Dream big. I am a big dreamer. Y'all know that in this chat. Y'all know this on this podcast. If we can trade up and get the 2 best players in this draft, what? Come on, bro. And then y'all got to get off Ryan Poles back if he pulls some shit like that. Now, y'all can't say nothing until like the middle part of the season. What you got to say, Drip? You over there investigating?
No, I'm just saying if he were to be able to do that, I don't like. I have to. I'm trying to look and find the mock where what trade they have them doing that to trade up to be able to get Marvin Harrison Jr. But if he were able to do that, I need everybody to just shut the fuck up. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with y'all. You know I love y'all in the chat. I respect the hell out of y'all unless you Packer fans. But if Ryan Poles trades up and gets Marvin Harrison Jr. and he drafts Caleb Wood, everybody, every naysayer, y'all just got to chill out and just thank y'all mama for not swallowing y'all and just shut the fuck up is what I'm going to say on that.
That's the finesse of the century, bro. That's the finesse of the century, bro.
That'll be wild, bro.
That'll be wild, bro.
I
Now
don't know
you
what's
still gonna need some for your trenches. Now you still gonna need another
lot
edge.
for your
You need
trenches.
an offensive lineman, but come on, dude. Come on, dude. That's automatically. I'm gonna just be humble. Top 5 wide receiving group in the NFL. I'm gonna just be humble if we pull that off.
They
But
said it was the 33rd team that did that mock.
It's 30-13. All right, let me go find it real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, because that was crazy. But I think if you do move up, hey, if you move up for a player like that, I don't think you need to move up if you want to go get Joe Alt or Jared Verse or Dallas Turner or something like that. I think you stand pat for those guys. But C-Dub, how much capital is too much capital to give up?
I'm next year's first pick and a third. That's it.
Oh,
Somebody told me like the value of next year's draft picks, like you actually lose one. So if you like trade into next year's, like a first is a second or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, potentially you don't even really know where all those teams are going to play.
Yeah, you don't know where they're going to line up. Yeah.
So
That's
there might
fair.
be a little bit of truth to that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be, but yeah, because if you feel like you about to be competing in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to have a top 15 pick if you're competing in the playoffs. So, you know,
They get it.
That's a decision you got to make.
They get next year's first, and they get in the third. You could throw a fourth.
That's a
little
lot.
Fourth. I don't give a that's good enough.
If you truly view Marvin Harrison Jr. as general, this is I know not everybody's going to agree with this. I know people are going to kill me for this. I get it. I would not. We have 2 second-round picks. I would not be against trading number 9 and our number 2 overall, or and our second-round pick next year. Hell, honestly, I wouldn't be mind trading both second-round picks next year if you can get you Marvin Harrison Jr. in this draft.
Yes,
we got 8 picks next year. I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Trade them all.
Potentially up to 11 too, Haize, because they're saying Ian. We get a third for Ian if he goes off to be a GM.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then there's some other ones in there too. So they're saying up to 11. So I don't know where those.
Yeah, there's
are at,
there's another thing we can get a compensatory pick for, but I can't remember what it is. So
yeah,
I mean,
you gotta do it.
I mean, that's
Bro,
the decision
I
you
go
got
crazy.
to come to terms with. If you okay with that, and this guy's, I believe he's the best wide receiver in the draft. So
here's my thing. I was all sold on Sweat because potentially you guys could see where the progression was going with our defense before we got him. And I don't even think JJ gets his payday without Sweat coming on the team.
Absolutely.
His numbers ain't going to look as good as they were. Not taking anything away from JJ. His hustle was real, but at the same point in time, when Sweat put the pressure on, man, it was evident, and the whole team changed dynamically.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
My point is, as much as we want to see Keenan and DJ groom a receiver coming in, I would like to see out of this draft, especially with all those names that they're talking about, going and getting an edge to groom up underneath Sweat, because if Sweat goes down, I mean, God forbid, but we got to have somebody in there to do their due diligence and keep the pressure on the QB and stuff,
And I think that's a fair point. And I kind of said that during my mock draft. I'm looking at it in a sense because it always come down to what the hell Ryan Poles is thinking with these picks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does he believe in Braxton Jones enough to pass on a Joe O? Does he believe in his wide receiver room now enough to say, we can wait a little bit longer to take a wide receiver in this draft. But it's all good possibilities, and I love talking about it, because shit, you never know.
Nephew, which one you think is more pressing though?
I would say defensive end. I think
it's
that's
more
the
pressing?
most pressing thing. I love who we got, but I love the development of Javon Dexter when Montez Sweat was there. I believe Zach Pickens, he started to show things. You know, it didn't always reflect the stat wise, so your interior is good. I don't know if DeMarcus Walker is a 100% full-time starter, and I'm not sure if that's what the Bears want with Eric Washington as the defensive coordinator who likes a rotation.
Yeah.
Go get
Now,
you a young guy to groom.
That's a fact. Now, the 33rd team, I got the trade up. So they have the Bears trading the number 9 pick and a 2025 first-round pick for number 5 and number 110 in this draft.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's bad.
I don't think it's bad either. I don't think it's bad. Giving up a first, it can be a little dangerous, but with the 2 seconds next year, listen, I don't think there's going to be a wide receiver as good as Marvin Harrison Jr. in next year's draft. So basically, you're just looking at, instead of having your first round pick to potentially get a wide receiver next year, you're getting it this year. So
agreed.
Oh, go get him, bro. Come on now.
I think that's a good trade.
What about if Malik the Freak or what if he falls to us, or
if they fall at number 9, that's why I think the Bears are in a good position regardless, because either Rome, Malik, Neighbors are all potential, not Neighbors. Why did I say Neighbors? What am I thinking about? Or Alt are going to fall there. And so if the Bears if they don't make a trade and happen to stay at number 9, I think that they're going to get talent there. They're going to get a hell of a talent there. Because like I said, we talked about last week in the live stream, or maybe that was Wednesday, Rome Odunze would be the number 1 wide receiver taken in most drafts. It just so happens it's a deep wide receiver class. So if you do get him at number 9, you're still getting a player that in most drafts would be the best wide receiver coming off the board.
Yeah.
So are you saying you like Odunze more than you like Malik, or is it kind of 1A?
No, I just think that Rome is more likely to fall than Neighbors. I don't think Neighbors is going to fall to number 9. I think he's going to be the hell. Some mocks have him getting taken off the board before Marvin Harrison Jr., which I'd hate to be that GM, but
go ahead. My buddy in Illinois says he knows the farm that Malik worked on growing up. And they say that those boys on the farm, they work hard, man. And they heard he was like real humble, hard worker and all that kind of stuff. That to me, that might not, transit, to me, that's like a transitional skill. Like when you hustle there, you're going to hustle, everywhere else. So.
Yeah, and he got a lot of attention too, because Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't do pro day, didn't do combine. This guy, he was putting himself out there and help raise his stock a little bit more. So I understand it. I understand.
Sure.
But please, he's not. But Marvin Harrison Jr. generational. I'm sorry. Well, nobody need him to run no drills to know how good he is. He don't need to do a 40 time to know that he's good, bro.
Did you guys hear that stat? Did you guys hear that stat that we're potentially, I think it was 2008, there was 8 offensive linemen picked in the first round, and they're projecting that this first round exceeds those original stats. So you look at that changes a whole dynamic, because how many wide receivers, Haize, are going to go like at least 4, maybe 5 in the first
round? Probably about 5 wide receivers.
And 5 or 6 QBs. And then now you're talking 8, 9, maybe more offensive linemen. That tight end Bowers is definitely going to go. I mean,
probably more than that, because you're gonna probably get 4 to 5 offensive linemen just taken between picks 15 and 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
This could you could see double-digit offensive linemen taken in the first round in this draft. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait, man. Let's get this shit over with, man.
Definitely can't wait on that one. Crimson be tripping, bro. You do realize that Montez Sweat already signed his contract extension, right? So that $75 million in cap space next year already takes into consideration Montez Sweat. I'm just one Crimson. Listen, I love Crimson, and this ain't. I will never say nothing bad about Crimson, but Crimson be high as fuck, bro. Otherwise, bro. Crimson is the definition of wake and bake, bro. It don't matter what time we start the stream. Crimson be high, bro. He be high, but that's my dude,
bro.
Though.
Hey, Keenan Allen, what do you think about Keenan Allen? Do you see him as a stalwart for the Chicago Bears team, or you see him as a bridge player for like a young guy? Let's say we get a receiver with that number 9 pick.
I think he's going to teach these boys how to hustle. There is one thing that was needed on our team, and that's that short, shallow cross. And he's number one in the NFL when it comes to that. And I think he was at like 62% played up as a slot receiver. And I think that's what he's coming in, but he can also play the outside too. I don't know how many times DJ has played. I know that one game where he just freaking lit it up as a slot receiver, you know what I mean? But there just wasn't a whole lot of times where he could do that. I don't think that's what DJ's getting paid to do. But if you go get your boy Neighbors, definitely, you know, Keenan for sure is going to be at the slot. So I think he's here for more than 1 year. I think they get a contract done. I don't think when you go from the Chargers to the Bears and you see what we got in the building, whereas compared to them, they got a lot of work to do over there, man. So I think he's going to want to stay, and I'm really excited about him being here, man. I think he's taking care of his body and some of those injuries. You know, I think the reason why is because you go look at Mike Williams, bro. That guy was often injured, so Keenan had to get a lot more reps than he normally would. I don't think they're going to use him like that with the Bears. You know what I mean? Because we got so many targets and stuff, so they're really gonna. It's kind of gonna be like a load. I don't know if that's the right term, but I don't think
management kind of.
Yeah, kind of, but I don't think they're going to be using that as heavy. And I also think DJ also is going to benefit for that too, because he doesn't have to go all as hard as he was. You know what I mean? He was the number one guy. So
that's going to be an expensive ass slot receiver in a couple of years.
I mean,
but under Shane Waldron, though, that slot is going to get a lot of targets, though. So
yeah.
But I was going to say, if they extend them, you can kind of flatten out that money a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To where it makes more sense financially for the organization. Ryan Poles and his crew, they smart, and I like what they do. So we'll see.
I mean, let's be clear. I mean, Keenan Allen is only a cap hit of $8 million this year. Shout out to the Chargers for taking on most of that money. So,
thank you.
Appreciate it. What do you think would be a valuable number to you that you'd be cool with? You know, would it be under 20 mil or?
2 years, 25, 26, 25 to 28. 2 years, 25 to 28. I'll be willing to pay Keenan Allen.
After this contract?
Yeah.
When is DJ Moore? When is DJ Moore?
2 years. That's why it all kind of lies. DJ Moore has 2 more years left on his contract.
I'm good with that.
I think that's fair.
That's fair for now. I don't even think he'd go past. I'm just to be honest. I don't think he'd stay here past after when we got.
It depends on the success. I think if we have success, I don't think because it's not like Keenan Allen was necessarily looking to leave the Chargers. They just didn't want to pay the man. So I think if we can have success, if we're winning football games and we make a wild card or playoffs next year, I think he'll want to stay.
And let's be clear, guys. If this wasn't the draft that we have right now with all these receivers coming out, some of these guys actually might stay where they were at. You know what I'm trying to say? Keenan might actually stay with the Chargers if this draft class wasn't coming through. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
They had a lot of bad money in the Chargers too. So he was definitely probably.
They had the situation the Bears had when Ryan Poles took over. They had a lot of bad money there.
A lot of bad money. A lot of old players. A lot of hype, but no results. It was a bad season for them.
Well, Khalil Mack snapped last season, though.
Khalil Mack did snap, but he still had other injuries. The guys you even paid out, they thought they was gonna pan out, they didn't.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. But all right, anything left, fellas, before we get up out of here?
Man, shout out to Brandon, man. Shout out to that man. Welcome to CBC, man.
Thanks, man.
And this is kind of light too. We usually a little crazier.
They just let me hit the fool because I can see Haize give one. No, I mean, listen. I think when we started off with Diedrich, everybody realized, all right, Haize in on that shit today. We're gonna leave him alone. Man, Haize went off 2 minutes into it.
Like a real fight. You know, the real fights aren't the ones that go back and forth. It's the one where dude just starts swinging right out the gates.
You already know.
If we were in person now, most of these motherfuckers would have got open hand smack because I don't believe they really ready about fighting.
You ain't about that.
So like when we do have our live show, I pray. Hold on. Let me do my. Come to the live show talking that shit. Please do. I'm just letting everybody know.
You already know.
Please do. There's gonna be one. We may have to actually I think next year's draft we may need to go ahead and get a live draft party fixed.
Hey, we with that.
Happen. Let's make it happen.
You know I'm gonna be right in the area.
Bobby, you be back in the Midwest. Everybody, it'll be easier for everybody to get to the Shy. We have to do that next year. So,
hey, it's going
but
down.
Brandon, give me your social media, give me your YouTube name, everything. Make sure they go fuck with you, brother.
Yeah, so Facebook and YouTube is Chicago Sports Podcast, and that's I'm Trax, and that's basically it. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook, and that's about it, man. I ask you guys to come on every so often, and when you guys got time, man, you guys bless us, and you travel well too. There's Crimson, I noticed. I can't see the chat in this, but whenever I watch you guys and then they come over to hang out with us, it seems like you guys travel real well, man. So it's cool. It's a pleasure to actually be on your guys' show, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime, Brandon. We'll have to have you back on, brother, for sure. We appreciate you being able to slide through. I know it's been difficult. I'm not even gonna lie. Brandon's been trying to get on here for a while. I'm the most difficult person in podcasting to get a hold of.
On me.
I'm not even gonna lie.
He's harder to get a hold of Kevin Warren.
I
got a podcast with Kevin Warren.
Brandon, the man, dude.
I can get a hold of that dude.
That's crazy. You can get a hold of Kevin Warren easier than me. That's wild. Bro.
Yes, the man do 10 podcasts a day, bro. I don't know how he fit it in time. I don't know how he fit time to take care of his family. He cook every day.
And then motherfucker be like,
man,
I'll be
bro,
right back.
I don't get it.
Cook for the
And look at him. He don't look tired. He don't look tired. Look at his face.
No.
This motherfucker that steamed his face and beard and did 3 podcasts already.
Change his shirts every
singing
podcast.
all morning. Going
Oh, bro, the shirts are over there. I got to get ready to go do Player's Choice now. I'm about to switch my shirt. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all go and support Bobby and C-Dub over the Shy Bulls podcast with them Cognac boys as well. They do great work over there. Y'all go support Brandon. You can follow us at Shy Bear Central at every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, number to do so, 773-242-9336. That's what I will fuck up on. Podcasts, I do the numbers and the names. I don't know how many times in the call Bear Central, Bull Central. 773-242-9336 with the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, man. We love you guys.